How's it going, everybody? We are live on Facebook and YouTube and Zoom. If you want your comments to be seen, you have to be in the Zoom room or on my page on Facebook. The other platforms, I can't see the comments until after the show. So anyway, just want to let you know that. Got Ingrid coming on. Hadn't seen her in a while. I'm going to play the intro, allow people time to come in, and then I'll bring her up on screen. How's it going, everybody? I'm going to bring Ingrid up here. Hadn't seen her in a while. See what she's been up to. She's always very entertaining, very informative, very inspiring, and very funny as well. So let's get her up here. Let's see, is that working? Try it again. Okay, that should do it. Let's see. Mute. Can you hear me, Ingrid?
Yes.
Hey, you're on. I never seen you. You're on.
No.
You're upside down.
I'm
You're
upside down.
Yeah, you're upside down. Are you on a phone? Are you on a phone?
Am I on the phone? No. I'm on the computer.
Oh, you're on the computer. You're upside down. That's okay. You can stay upside down. We can.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. It's perfect if you're upside down.
I don't know how to change it either. How to turn it.
I've never heard of somebody's computer being upside down. I did one show with a guy one time, and we just did the show. We went ahead and did the show that way.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, then I'm upside down.
Oh my God, I thought you were going to come on audio, but this is fine. This is perfect. Everybody's loving it.
Oh, I'm so glad to be back, and I'm so glad to
I know.
see you again.
Yeah, Morgan went out of town, and I was trying to hook you up, and I know you sent me some information, but there were so many messages I could never get to it.
That's okay.
And I told her, I said, you got to get Ingrid. You got to get Ingrid. But it took a while. But we got here, and I met your friend Susan. Pamela Jane Garand. I met her.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that show, but it was pretty good. We just met a few days ago.
Oh, that's exciting. She's a wonderful, beautiful woman.
I know. She was telling me about the little retreat y'all had 10 years ago or so. You and John McIntosh and her.
Oh yeah, she was visiting us in Norway. It was so wonderful experience.
Yeah. I didn't know I didn't even know you were friends with John McIntosh.
Oh, you didn't know that? No. That's so many years ago.
Was it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we know. We was living together on and off actually for 7 years.
Oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea.
No. This is many years ago. He came to Norway in 2009. and moved in with me, and we lived together on and on for 7 years.
Very cool.
Till he went back to Canada again. And I started also to move away from Sunndalsøra, which was the place that I was living then, and down here to Holmestrand, town almost an hour away from Oslo.
Yeah.
Where my daughters are living here.
So what have you been up to? We haven't talked like in 3 months. That's the longest we've ever gone. We usually talk like every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So what's been happening?
A lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things. Like what?
Yeah, a lot of things has been happening in my life, as the same has been happening for everybody in this time of this massive transformation. And now with the coronavirus, that also is, what can I say, the biggest mass awakening, wake-up call ever.
Isn't it exciting?
Absolutely. It is really, really. And I've been talking about this for years, and I have been seeing this, what would come for many, many years back. I remember actually that I don't remember exactly when it was, but it's really, really many, many years ago. I think I was in my 20s then. And I remember that I got a vision about what will happening. And I remember I was thinking, my God, I wish I could just sleep through the whole thing and then wake up and everything was over. I could see that we was entering the, what can I say, the darkest period of human history to end up where we have ended up right now.
So you were years ago, then you were getting like his prophecy.
Yeah.
This time.
Yeah, and I have done that many times in my
Wow.
life. And right after New Year, I also was seeing even more clearly, and I was receiving also information that 2020 would be a year where we will be shaken to the core of our beings, and it will happen right after Christmas or right after New Year. And it will be several shakes that really will be so profound, not only this coronavirus, but this coronavirus is like I'm saying, it's like Dr. Shefali, I'm saying this is the freaking Yoda teaching us, really are making us to really wake up like never before.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I received that, and there's a lot of things that will happen in 2020 that will continue make us realize that we are one, and also that we need each other, and also that the coronavirus is what really has forced us all down into our knees. And really realize, what can I say, forcing us to also face our own bullshit, and again that we are one.
Yeah, that's what I came across something the other day, and I thought of you because I figured you'd get it. You'd find it. You'd find the wisdom in it. It's something about the situation's not a rabbit hole. It's the situation is, it's not so much now we can go down the most important rabbit hole, which is the eye hole or the asshole, our own asshole. So we can now start to figure out, the only thing we got to change is ourselves, or fix or look at is ourselves, right?
Yeah, because as I said, I also been talking about this for years. That I'm coming back to the importance, because we have, since we was coming into this lifetime, we have been prepared for what is happening right now.
Yeah.
And that's why I also said so many times, for years, I cannot stress enough the importance of really doing the inner work. And we can see now the importance it has been for people that has done the inner work and in a way take it seriously, because what we see now is that people are facing, what can I say, I'm getting a little bit eager here also because it's so long time since we've been talking, so there's so much my heart is running over with.
Yeah, I think
but
I think the other thing too is that reminds me of you too. Yeah, everyone has to face, and Morgan's like, think of the energetic meaning of everybody buying toilet paper. It's like
yeah,
God sending us a message saying, look at your own shit.
yeah, because the coronavirus doesn't care about our ego.
Yeah.
It really doesn't care about who we are in a way, about when it comes what we have created from the false self. We
Yeah.
are really brought down to our knees to see that we all are equal, and that we have also in a way been robbed for both past and future. We have entered the unknown like never before, to also to see to see that we are equal, that the coronavirus doesn't care about our money, doesn't care about our titles, our positions, even how spiritual clever we are. It doesn't care about anything. Everything we have been robbed for in a way.
Yeah.
And I also was told in a channeling when I was told that this was going to happen, that the duality, the separation, and like the light and the darkness are now coming together. We are forced to look at our own, as I said, our own bullshit, our own darkness. And that's why I'm saying, trying to explain how important it is to have taken to do the inner work and to really look at everything. And I have been doing that for over 20 years. For me, it started when I was living with husband number 3, because I've been married 4 times. So I have tried everything.
Number five's on the way.
Okay. Okay, whatever I say, bring it on. I'm still here. I'm open for every experiences. But I was standing in the living room he was a psychopath, and he hit me. And I remember that I was really shocked, first of all, because I was thinking that with my background and with my education, I'm educated as a psychiatry nurse, and I was like really really convinced that at least I would spot a psychopath miles away. And I ended up living with a psychopath. I even married him. But the point is that, but it didn't last long. But the point is, I was standing in his living room when he had hit me. And I remember that the first thing I was thinking that, how could this happen again? I was feeling like a victim, really big time. And source came true, because I've been open and communicate. I've been a medium and are a medium, and I'm psychic and all these things, and been that my entire life. And for me, communicate with God, with source, has absolutely been natural, the most natural thing. And God came through and said, it is not about your man, your husbands, it's about you. And it really hit home. And I realized what I had to do. I realized that it was my responsibility to really start to dive deep into my so-called past, to my history, to own my history, to reveal everything, because we all create trauma when we do not accept the reality as it is. And I didn't want to accept the reality. I tried to lie. Still, I tried to lie that, okay, but had a really, I excused his behavior because he had a job that required enormously of him. He was handling millions and billions during his job, and really, so I was just excuses him. But I realized that as long as we do that,
Yeah.
as long as we deny the reality, we create trauma. And
Yeah.
I realized that I had to really accept the reality as it was right there, right in that moment. And I really realized that it was all about me. I no longer could continue carry with the poison I had inside of me, because he was the poison. He was the mirror of my own poison, my own history that I have been carrying around for so long.
Yeah.
And this is what the virus is doing. The virus is doing the same thing. It is forcing us to really accept the reality as it is right now. It is forcing us to, first of all, feel all of our fears, because we are afraid.
Yeah.
The humanity are afraid because, as I said, we have lost. It has robbed us for the past. The past is gone in a way. It's like an atomic bomb
It is
that
gone.
has, yeah.
It's gone. We're not going back. Whatever's going to happen, we're not going back.
No, we're not going back. Nothing will be the same, so-called after this. Not at all. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point. The coronavirus is saying, do you really get it now? Because the coronavirus is not separated from us. The same that the psychopath that I was married to was not separated from me. He was a part of me, showing me what I needed to take responsibility. My cancer was the same. It was also a part of me. I wasn't separated from the cancer. The coronavirus is not separated from us. It isn't created in Wuhan, something separated from us. It's our darkest subconsciousness. It is the false self. It's the cancer in all of us that the false self is, that now is forcing us to really go down, deep down into ourselves, and really realize
The rabbit hole.
only, and not only face the false self, but also to realize who we really are. This coronavirus is when we accept the reality, we also enter liberation.
Yeah.
And that reveals our capacity to really what we are capable of doing, how much we are capable of embracing and love. We will reveal the power of who we really are. But most of all, the most important thing of all, we have to, and we will realize that we are one, that we are equal.
Yeah. And I think the other thing too about the psychopath, we've all had the narcissist, the psychopath, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you said until you accepted the reality. Well, the reality is not that you're with the psychopath. The reality is you're the one that created it, right? That's what
Yeah.
you're talking about, like with the cancer, and then with what's going on today. But the other thing is too, what I'm seeing too is people getting on the side of righteousness, like, hey, I'm with the good guys. Hey, those people are bad. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it looks like. As long as you're pointing the finger at somebody and creating a line of separation, you're holding up the train. And every one of us that applies to, every single one of us, over identifying with this cause or this movement or this situation. I mean, we can't, I don't think we could ever bring balance if we only take into consideration our human experience and our human perspective. I mean, obviously, you got the channels from your higher self, from God, right? That helped you get into alignment.
Yeah, and that's what we do. And as I said, the coronavirus is the force of I am. It is. It's the force. It, as I said, it doesn't care about who we are. It really doesn't care. It doesn't care if you are the good guy, if you meditate the right way, if you still continue separate whatever you believe that you are and others are not, or whatever is going on, you're still living in separation, and the coronavirus will make sure that we really get it. It will really make sure. It won't, as I said, and as you said, nothing will be the same. We will not go back to the so-called normal after the coronavirus. Everything is changed, and we will see it in the time to come. In years, we will see it in 14 days, in a half year, in 2 years, in 14 years, whatever. We will see that it's changed because it's the part of the big plan. This was the plan for a long time ago, and no human being can, in a way, or no person can, what can I say, meditate or pray itself out of this coronavirus, what it's doing, because it affects everybody, and it affects individually, inside, and globally, and that's what we see. And it is also beautiful. Of course, we shall take it seriously, what is going on, by stay home, by doing all these things that what can I say, what you call it in the health department is saying. To stay home, to be serious about the hygiene and all these things. We shall do that, because we do not live separated. We are not an island by ourselves anymore. And so we shall take it seriously. But I can also share that there's so many wonderful, beautiful things that we all see also are being born, so-called born out of this, or how human now are coming out and really are showing their real self, their true self, no matter who they was before, or no matter what kind of identifications they had before. And I was told that this happened because the force that we can feel, I have felt this force more stronger than ever before the last months, and especially after Christmas, or when I got this channeling from Source, that this will happen, that the earth and humanity will be shaken.
So you got this after Christmas, right after Christmas?
Right after Christmas, right after Christmas. And I was told that 2020 will be a year where humanity will be shaken to our core. The Mother Earth will be shaken or shake us several times this year. And that is because everything that so-called has been dark in ourselves, that we haven't dealt with, everything that we have poured into the planet or to Mother Earth, is also the reason why she will shake this off, the darkness. And I've been talking about this also for years, that this is the era of transparency. Because no lies can no longer have hiding places. I was told this in the channeling, that that it will really make a collapse. If you hear it's my cat that I have a cat.
Bring it on. No problem.
She's coming. She's a Bengal cat.
Oh yeah.
A 6-year-old diva, and she's so beautiful. She's like a puppy, following me everywhere.
So I mean, like this transparency thing. This is like a universal. We have no choice, right?
No.
Nothing has a choice. It's happening no matter what. And
it is happening no matter what. And as you said, we have no choice. that's why it had to be so profound. It had to really shake us to the core and really create the collapse in everything old, because we can no longer live the way that we have been living. And in a way, I was told that Mother Earth has become like an what can I say, like a mature woman that no longer accepts to carry what we have been pouring into her, what can I say, her being, or yeah.
It's kind of like a lot of her daughters around the world that aren't taking that shit anymore.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
that have stepped into their power the last few years.
Yeah. So the coronavirus brings people into our knees, so we can connect in a way that we have never done before globally. And we start to see that, and we everything that is so-called dark has to come up before we are fully capable of integrating love itself, which is the only force, which is the only truth. And we also are brought down to our knees to see what really are essential. And yeah, it's really, as I started to say, that doing the inner work, those that has done the inner work and faced their own bullshit, will go through this in a much more beautiful way, and will be called out now to really be, to in a way start to really do the work, the healing work we are here for, because there's so many people now that their lives will collapse. It will really be profound, and the so-called the healers are now called to come forth, if I'm saying in the right way.
Yeah, I mean, and how do you think they do that? I mean, how do you see them doing that? Do you see them doing that through like healing modalities, or by by doing the inner work and transmitting a higher frequency, or both?
Everything is happening. Everything we are integrating the higher frequency, and we have done that for a long time. So this, what is happening now, has been built up to this collapse, or this apocalypse, or what I can call, whatever you call it. So it's been leading up to that. So everybody is integrating higher, the highest frequency of the light. But I was also sitting in, if I jump too much, please take me back to what we were talking about.
You're good.
But I was sitting in my sofa some evenings ago, and I was talking to a friend of mine, because I'm trying to save the cord because my cat is playing with the cord. And I said because it was talking about the force that I've been feeling for so long, and especially it has increased after Christmas, or also a little bit before Christmas, but from Christmas and to now, it's really been profound. I've felt that force, and I was talking to her, and I said that suddenly I said that I can see now the reason why I was in a way forced to pull back from being social. I've felt an enormous force, because force is the right word for me, in a way that forced me to pull back, to stay home, and also put myself in a current what are you saying, quarantine? No,
Quarantine.
yeah.
You were doing it beforehand. You were doing
not because I'm sick or anything like that, but just this force was really, it was so powerful. So I said to her that I really feel just more and more to really isolate myself, even from the family. And I said that when we was talking, I said, I can see, and the best thing that I can describe it is like a thick, thick cloud blanket around the entire planet. And it was golden white, light, bright light. And I said, there's enormous of light entities now that also is the reason why I feel to pull back and to, in a way, because it feels like I can see that they have taken over. They're like they're controlling what is now going on in this time of Corona. And I understood that they are really, it was like there was hovering, is that the right word, over the planet, and taking the, in a way, the control of what is going on.
In a good way, or
in a good way, absolutely, yeah, absolutely, in a good way, because now we have come to this, what can I say? Sorry. We have come to this point where there's so much more that is going on that we are aware of, that we not only need help, but we also, there was this plan of having this assistance from this higher light vibration beings, because it is also removing, if I can use that word, the dark entities that has been here, everything that has tried with a kind of force to hide the lies, the darkness, the lies that not only going on individually but also globally in the politics, in the financial world. Everything is being taken away from the planet. And it was so beautiful, and in all of this, and I have to be completely open and honest and vulnerable, because this is a part of my life, my everyday. At the same time, there's a lot of owls sitting on the table in my living room.
A lot of owls?
Yes. Fairies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the information that I also got is that they are now more active than ever before with the light beings that are hovering over the planet, because they are also together with the enormous change that are going on in the soil, on the earth. Everything will change. What we grow now will also change. The seeds, the corns that we are planting, everything, the vegetables will have a completely, totally different structures in their what can I say, their atoms or whatever, because it will be way more nurturing for humanity and for animals also than ever before.
It's
so
like everything's aligning, you know.
Yes, and it's so beautiful. So the corona, what is going on the news is important to listen to, but it's really, really superficial actually what the corona has what can I say, brought into our lives and what is really going on. And when you said the healers will now be in a way more busy than ever before, it's not that it's the same when I got cancer, when source came through and said to me, this is not a healing anymore. This is total transformation. And yes, there will be people that will need not only our knowledge, our wisdom, but because we have gone through the inner work, we then can really connect with those that really need the help and need us to be there, not only with the wisdom and our experiences, but also with our frequency.
Yeah, that to me would be, that would be the biggest thing we could do is to be in that state of neutrality, that state of love and unity, like you said you had. And I'm going to ask you that too, just for an example, for other people who are struggling to really find that alignment and unity consciousness because of the personal things they've gone through, such as living with a psychopath narcissist like you were talking about. How did you get to a point where you were that person, or any person like that, where you were able to see them as you see them, as one with you?
That's exactly what I was forced to, in a way. I'm using the word force because not that God forced us in a way, but at the same time, if you understand what I mean, we are being forced because it's a part of the plan.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the whole thing that I really started to realize because as I said, I really got it when God said, it's not about your husbands, it's about you. Because
Yeah.
I've been carrying the victim consciousness for a long time, even though I never forgot who I am. I always remember where I came from. I always remember how it was to come into this physical realm. But still, I had to also have my human experiences. So I was carrying a victim consciousness. I have told you before, but I was growing up in a home that was extremely abusive. I was 2 years old the first time I was hit so severe that I was fading, and I was laying down in the ice cold concrete floor in the basement of the house where they were living, and the blood had turned black because it was so cold. And as soon as I tried to stand up, I started to bleed again. It was so painful, and I was 2 years old. My dad had left me. He had turned off the light and he's walked up in the first floor and closed the door. This went on for 16 years. I was beaten so severe. My mom was an alcoholic and she was a narcissist. It was really but I had this really feeling for years that I was worth nothing. And every man that really wanted me, that just in a way made me feel that I was important, I said yes. I married them all because I really needed to feel that I was loved. I needed to feel that I was safe, that somebody really wanted to take care of me. So I really got it when God said that it's not about your husband, it's about you. It was like that was my really profound wake-up call, also like the cancer, but in a different way. So when I started to really do the inner work, because I started with I found a teacher that was doing something called psychodrama, and it's about going back to your childhood and to really open up for the feelings again, for the trauma again. And I just have to say this while I remember, because there's so many people I see online that are talking about don't go there because you will be stuck there and you will continue creating the darkness. It is the biggest bullshit ever. And I really use this word because it's not true. Whatever we deny, we will create more trauma. Whatever we face and we feel and we embrace, we make space for it, it will be absorbed by the light. And we become who we really are. We are not here to become more spiritual, that I said before. We are here to really become humans like never before. So I started the inner work. I started to open up again. I started to feel again everything. And I went back to my childhood. I went back to when I was 2 years old. I loved my body to reveal everything, to release everything. And slowly over the years, I realized something really profound. And that was that my husband's, my dad even, was life itself. They had given me the most profound life experiences, and they have shown me my capacity to love unconditionally, and by that, who I really am.
Wow.
And it's so important. I could never experience everything that I experienced when I really started to dive deep into my own darkness, to face my own darkness, because at the same time, when I said yes to that, at the same time, when I said yes to my fears, when I embraced my fears, they was absorbed by the light, and I was receiving so much beautiful information. I could see angels again. I could start and really communicate fully again with entities that has gone over, because I don't talk to dead people, because there exist no dead people. I'm a medium, so I talk to people that has left their physical body. This is just the top of the iceberg. What really unfolded, what really made me expand in ways that I could never experience if I wasn't in my physical body, if I wasn't had these human experiences.
Yeah.
And something also that is so important in this time, we could never connect, we can never touch each other, we can never be fully intimate with each other if we do not love our human existence and really embrace our darkness.
Yeah, that's a good point about being in the body,
Yeah,
because it really it really magnifies everything. I mean, it's being human is so intense. you know
yeah, and we could never experience this if we wasn't in a physical body, if we wasn't here. We couldn't experience anything of it. And we have to stop running away from our fears, because fear is really up and running now. And fear is not dangerous to feel, to say yes to. We have to learn to embrace our fears, because otherwise we cannot connect to each other. That's why I've also been very, what can I say? Maybe I've been too blunt or whatever when I'm talking about gurus or people that are talking about this is a dream and this is an illusion, and who is feeling that, and you are not feeling that because you are not Todd and I'm not Ingrid.
Thank you.
It really makes me, yeah. I don't have the English words for it,
I feel
but
the
we
same.
cannot, huh?
I feel the same way you do, and I have a difference of opinion with one of your friends on that matter.
Because we cannot connect to each other. We
Yeah.
cannot connect, we cannot be intimate fully and
Yeah.
really
You
be
can't be
there.
you can't be human. You,
No, we cannot
what's
be
what's
human.
the point of coming here if it's all just a bunch of bullshit and it's an illusion and a dream and none of it even matters? I don't buy that. And
No,
and the other thing I like that you said too was you got to face your fears in
yeah,
order to connect to other people. That's very true. You got
yeah,
to you got to face your fears on it, just on in your own isolated state, your own solitude, in order to connect with others. Because and then that doesn't mean connecting with others through fear. Like that's one thing I'm seeing happen is people are like latching onto the fear and saying, "Hey, I'm over here in this bucket of fear. Come over here with me." And everybody's in this bucket of fear. This isn't what the opportunity is. The opportunity is what you were talking about earlier. It's exciting. This is
yeah,
exciting. I mean, people like you have waited a long time, probably wondering, "Hey, was this ever going to happen?" And here we
yeah,
are. Here we
yeah,
are.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been waiting for a long time. I'm not the only one. And here we are. This is what we have been that's the reason why we have had our experiences, and this is the reason why we had to face our own darkness, to deal with it, and not only to say that this is a dream or this is illusion, or don't feel this and be detached from this. And it really makes me want to throw myself out of the sofa, because I'm so tired of hearing this. And I cannot talk with people. I cannot help people that are calling me, that are coming to me, that want my help. They're coming because they want the real thing. I cannot sit in front of a person that have experienced trauma, that are in pain, that are in suffering, and say that who is suffering. This is just an illusion.
Yeah.
That is abuse. I'm saying it. This is abuse, and it's more violent than anything. Because if you are a so-called spiritual person, an enlightened person, and you say that to a person that are in pain, you are more abusive than anything, and it's dangerous.
Yeah, that's like when somebody close to you passes away, then people come to you and say, "Hey, get over it." You know, like, get over the grieving. How long is it going to take? Well, you know, I mean, that you're right. That's a strong word, abusive, but I agree with you.
But it is abusive, because everything that disconnects you from all that is, from the reality, because we are reality itself. We are God. We are, as I said before, I'm not a goddess. I do not worship the moon. I'm not an empress or whatever that wakes up to my power. I am God. Simple as that. In a physical form. I am here not to stay in a meditative way, because that I finally found who I am and I'm enlightened. No, I'm here to live it fully, completely, totally, absolutely, feeling all that is, because I'm not separated. I'm not separated from. We have to realize that our humanity, our human feelings, our fears, our darkness, our panic, whatever it is as sacred as God itself, as life itself. We have to, and that is also what coronaviruses are doing right now to us, forcing us down on our knees to realize that we are responsible for the darkness, because that has kept us separated, that we have been crying, we have been roaring for our superiority for a long time, with our money, with our identification, with our cars, with our houses. We don't want to, or I'm enlightened, so I'm sitting here and I let the world go on by itself. We are not allowed to do that anymore. This is the new era. It is the new era of transparency, but it's the new era also of golden civilization. To evolve is our responsibility, and to do that, we can only do that through our human existence.
New era. It's the new human, the new human.
Yeah, and I just have to say, because I was sitting today, earlier today, and I was thinking about, because I'm writing, and I was thinking about this when it comes to separation, and I was thinking about the persons that are, let's say, in their denial of who they really are, that just believe in their false self. They have only one wing to fly with, because they are separated. So I saw that when you only have one wing to fly with, you just fly in circles. And that's what we have been doing. Just look at the human history. If you are so-called guru or an enlightened person that had detached from your humanity, you still have only one wing to fly with, and you fly in circles. That's what gurus and the enlightened people have done. But if you letting your darkness and the light come together, melting together in a way that you are embracing your humanity, and you are also embracing your God self, you have two wings to fly with.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Did you go through a certain process to see your victimizers as you? Did you?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, absolutely I did. And that was because I could no longer separate myself. That was the cancer really did. And that is what the coronavirus is doing. It's like when you got cancer, you are robbed from everything. And so do the coronavirus with us also. So yeah, absolutely it was a process because I had to, first of all, to honor myself and to honor my human life, I had to open up to feel again. Sorry.
You're good.
I had to open up and say yes to, first of all, the victim in me. I had to realize what I had not only been running away from, but also what I have judged. And when I judged myself, of course, I realized slowly that I'm also judging other people. I didn't, when I was judging myself and was in fear, I wasn't capable of taking the that everybody was a mirror.
Yeah.
It was a process to open up for the PTSD that my childhood had was the consequences. I really had to step down from our own identifications of being this strong woman that was capable of doing everything by herself, that didn't need any man.
Yeah.
That was a huge contradiction because I absolutely needed a man to feel safe. So, but the cancer that came as a atomic bomb. Before that, I had years of doing this inner work. As I told you, I started in psychodrama, and that was in 1998, and the cancer came in 2005. But the cancer was so profound, and God came through all the time and said, this is not about healing anymore. This is about total transformation. I was told to get rid of all my spiritual books, and I had a whole room, a whole wall full of spiritual books. I was told to get rid of everything, to come completely, totally naked. And really, that is also what is happening now. We have to come completely naked. We have to see ourselves, face ourselves, and to be completely naked, to get rid of all that I believe protected me and would keep me alive. I had to be willing to die, to really die. I had to face my own my mortality. And when I did that, there was nothing more to fear in a way. And I could love, it was like, it was a kind of profound insight that when I have nothing more to fear, I can love fully. And when I don't need anything from anyone, I can love fully, completely. I can see everybody equal. And I was then told to now, God told that now you're ready to take your dad, look at him, look at his energy, and transform the belief systems you have about him and you, transform the concepts, his history, all of it. And I was told to do the same about my mom, about my sister, about how to be a daughter, how to transform even the concepts and belief systems about God. And when I was doing that, I realized that I was willing to die. It was like, okay, if I have to die, then I die. It's okay. And that's what I also learned, to embrace the cancer. I said to myself, okay, I realized I had never been here before. I realized I never loved fully before. My human life, I never really wanted to be here. I realized that I can embrace the cancer because I am the power of I am. I am the power of love itself. So I loved my cancer fully, wholeheartedly. I embraced the cancer, my chemotherapy, and I was capable of embracing my dad, my mom, my ex-husbands, my life, myself. And I saw that in that unconditional love, there was freedom, and I was not separated from anyone. And that is when I saw that my dad, all men are life itself.
Yeah.
They are love itself. They are God expressing and experience life in the way that was in their plan, exactly the same that was planned for me and women. That's why I do not see women as victims. I do not see men as victims, but I absolutely cannot, as I said, stress enough the importance for us to touch again like never before by open up and feel it again. And I was also told that the new era is also the era of feeling, because we haven't felt before really fully. We have learned to deny our feelings. Men have learned to that big boys do not cry, that you have if you're going to be a real man, you have to be like that, you have to act like that, you cannot be weak like a woman. Women have learned that we are nothing without the man. We need to be nice, we need to be in certain way to be loved and to keep love also. And so it is this, when we really, as I said, going from being a victims and realize that we are God, that we are love itself, that we are life itself, that is when the biggest and most profound love connection we can ever do, and see that, as I said, see that we all are connected.
Yeah. So, yes. Well, you're on fire today too, man.
Yeah.
So, well, before we go, I mean, it is a unique. I mean, things have moved really fast this year. I mean, they've been moving
Yeah.
fast. All the conversations we've had, we always talk about it. It's getting faster and faster. But with your wealth of experience and wisdom, I mean, anyone that's watching the show now or that watches it later, and like, just to kind of conclude it and summarize everything, what advice could you offer to any of us from this point as we move forward?
Stay inside, because there's a reason why we are being told to stay inside, because then we have to dive inside ourselves also. Stay inside, take seriously what we are being told. But I will in a way just give the same advice that I've been talking about here, to really don't be afraid of our fears. Realize what this is really about, that the corona is gold. It's God itself. It is ourselves that has created it as a part of this mass awakening, because we have to change everything, and we have to change ourselves in the way that we start to really embrace our fears. We cannot run away from it anymore. And this coronavirus is affecting all of us. So what I will say is, stay in your solitude as much as you can. Have connection with people that you can talk to, that can help you in a way to embrace the reality as it is right now. Because, as I said, if we do not do that, we create traumas.
Yeah.
But do what or we're gonna say, understand that, first of all, we are so being helped now by the force of light, by beings in the scene and not in the scene in a way. We are, and this is the part of the plan. I cannot stress that enough. This is the part of the plan. We have been prepared for this, that is going on. We are powerful enough to handle it. But we have to realize that we no longer can live separated. So stay in touch with your inner self, open up for it, but absolutely connect with people, contact people that you know can help you with the inner work.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. We'll have to get together again, maybe toward the end of the month.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm absolutely.
We had too long of a break. Too long of a
Yeah,
break.
I agree.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
The same. Good to see you, and a huge hug and million magical kisses to you and Morgan. I really love you, and I love all of you out there that has listened to. And you can also write to me, my Gmail or on Facebook Messenger. And yeah, I will answer also. So we are here for each other.
Right on. Right on. Thank you, Ingrid.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon.
Yes.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.